You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network.
Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. I know you're probably thinking, we don't have a Tuesday evening live. Well, look, I'm back in the studio and we have a couple of updates. You know, I dropped a couple of videos earlier, mods, if we can post those videos throughout tonight's live in regards to some of the stories that we've been covering, including the passing of singer and songwriter D'Angelo at the age of 51 years old. 51 feels, maybe because I'm getting older, but also I just feel like in 2025, 51 is not what 51 used to be, maybe 20, 30 years ago. 51 years old, we had no idea that D'Angelo was battling cancer. According to the family, they said that he had been battling cancer for a while now. We have an update from the video that we did earlier today, and this is why you need to be subscribed. This is why you need to have your notifications on, because when we have breaking news, normally, if I'm in the studio, I can get you an update. Well, here's what we're finding out from TMZ. The family has released a statement, and D'Angelo and Angie Stone's son, as you know, they have a son together. Some of you don't know that they have a son together, and Angie Stone just passed away earlier this year. But according to TMZ in their statement on D'Angelo's family statement, they said this in regards to his passing. They said, "The shining star of our family has dimmed his light for us in this life. After a prolonged, courageous battle with cancer, we are heartbroken to announce that Michael D'Angelo Archer, known to his fans around the world as D'Angelo, has been called home, departing this life today, October 14th, 2025. We are saddened that he can only leave dear memories with his family, but we are eternally grateful for the legacy of extraordinarily moving music he leaves behind. We ask that you respect our privacy during this difficult time, but invite you all to join us in mourning his passing while also celebrating the gift of song that he's left for the world." You know what I really love about this statement? You know, we were just talking about this when we were recapping Real Housewives of Potomac yesterday in regards to people acting so strange about when we talk about spirituality, especially for Black people, because before Christianity, we were rooted in our spirituality. And I love how they said in this statement, they said, "The shining star of our family has dimmed his light for us in this life. After a prolonged and courageous battle with cancer, we are heartbroken to announce that Michael D'Angelo Archer, known to his fans around the world as D'Angelo, has been called home, departing this life today." Reminding us that life is eternal, that energy doesn't die. So that was the family statement, but our friends over at The Breakfast Club, Lauren LaRosa, also had a statement from Angie Stone and D'Angelo's son, Michael D'Angelo Archer the second. So this is what Angie Stone and D'Angelo's son said in the statement. Lauren said this, she said, "A statement from D'Angelo and Angie Stone's son on the passing of his father." He says, "I am grateful for your thoughts and prayers during this very difficult time, as it has been a very rough and sad year for me. I ask that you please continue to keep me in your thoughts, as it will not be easy, but one thing that both my parents taught me was to be strong, and I intend to do just that." Rest in peace to D'Angelo. So sad. I mean, the great thing about music and musicians like Angie Stone and D'Angelo, their music will live on forever. Like, that will be available to all of us, healing to all of us. There will be people that just discovered D'Angelo because of this story, and they will be reintroduced or introduced for the very first time to the magic of his music, of his sound. And it also makes me wonder too what music we haven't heard. So I don't know if there's any hopes of us ever hearing that music, but thank you for the music that you did leave us, both Angie Stone and D'Angelo. May he rest in peace. And literally earlier today when I heard the story, I was like, I don't jump and report, death news until I can get like legitimate sources that are confirming it, because at maybe like an hour before we reported it, there were some inklings in various sources, and I was just like, because D'Angelo has always really led a very quiet life. So it would be very easy to be like, oh, D'Angelo has passed away and it not be a true story. So I said, let me wait and see. But unfortunately, he did pass away, and pancreatic cancer, the likelihood of surviving pancreatic cancer is very, very small. But yeah, look, Kenya says, my mom passed away from pancreatic cancer. It's a horrible cancer. May he rest in peace. It's a really, really, really sad one. I'm not saying it's impossible, but anytime that I see someone say that someone has passed away due to pancreatic cancer, I'm not completely shocked because of how serious that particular cancer is. All right. So that is the update in regards to D'Angelo. His son has released a statement, and the family has released a statement in the passing of D'Angelo. May he rest in peace. I'm definitely going to go listen to some D'Angelo music today. All right. And please be sure to share your thoughts and favorite memories and songs in the comment section or live chat. We are live back in the studio for a Hot Topics Live. You know, if you're new here, we don't just talk about Real Housewives. We talk about everything in pop culture. But before we get to some more pop culture news, I'm going to remind you in regards to some of the stories that we covered today. I gave you an update in regards to Trina Braxton and what she said on social media when it comes to her niece Ashley and what Ashley's now sharing on this current season of the Braxtons. I have not watched the premiere episode just yet, but I just want to remind you, and again, you can see all of my commentary on this from the separate video that we did earlier today, but here's the video, a clip from the live, I guess their live recap of the Braxtons season premiere episode.
For real, 100%. Forget what Ice the Public says, for real. Okay, I'm going to say this. I cannot negate anyone's feelings in any way, shape, or form. Right. And I will say this. I think that you can never put a time limit on someone's feelings, their emotions, or even their version of what the truth may be to them. But I do wish that the people that were spoken about were able to tell their own version of their story, of their truth, because they're...
Is she serious right now? Every time I hear it, I get more annoyed with Trina. Trina has been annoying me for a while now. But the more I listen to this clip, I get more and more annoyed. I'm more and more annoyed. Because I'm just like, are you really defending this man who admittedly on Braxton Family Values years ago talked about being inappropriate? And I believe even hinted at the inappropriate text messages with your 16-year-old niece? This is your opportunity to be like, you know what, he was completely wrong for that. And do not sit here and try and tell me that you're trying to protect your grown sons.
With us.
Yeah, because it did.
And that's not always fair. That's not always fair. And people have to talk about things when they're ready to talk about it.
I can't stand you, Mr. Melon Magic. And he says, and then she got James Amos next to her over there.
And yes, you guys are loud, Caleb.
You're loud as hell out there.
But I can't disregard anybody's feelings. I said what I said.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's entitled, and
T-Can, I'm a Braxton follower, period. They shouldn't watch y'all if they want to hate or be negative. Well, you know what? But even in that vein, people have a right to their opinion.
Sometimes people watch just so they can.
That happened. But I think that you can call it family secrets. You can call it, Braxton no family values, like I saw some people saying.
That's not the name anymore anyway.
Right, it's just the Braxtons right now. I don't think, like I said on the show, I'm going to reiterate it again.
The joke is late.
Everything is not for public consumption. I think that something.
D, who's watching on Twitch, shout out to everyone watching on Twitch. Gabe is a loser. Why are you still loyal to a creep? It says more about her. Honestly, it says more about her. And here's the thing. Trina does not have to say, Gabe is trash. All she can be like, you know what? He shouldn't have done that. And I could have and should have shown up more for you during that time. And I apologize. That's all she really has to say. But she's like, I wish the people that were involved could speak today, but he's no longer here. Okay.
I'm not saying the covered wagon. I'm just saying that things should be talked about, things should be dealt with, and things should be discussed if you want real, true healing. I don't think that social media is a forum for people to hear things, especially if it involves them.
You know how I take what she's saying here? Basically, she's upset the fact that Ashley went to TikTok and told her story several months ago. You basically want Ashley to shut up. Because in these last 16 years, you never really tried to heal that relationship with her. Even after Gabe was gone, you still did not try to heal that relationship.
Social media is not a place to hear things firsthand. It's just not. And I love you guys enough to tell the truth, and I love me enough to protect myself and my family and my children. Would I be willing to have a conversation? Absolutely. But I think that needed to happen prior to.
Is she willing to have a conversation? You should have been as the grown adult. Because we have to remember, Ashley, now she's an adult. But at the time, she was a teenager. She was 16 years old when Gabe, apparently, allegedly, I'll still say, even though he's no longer here, but it seems as if it's Gabe, had inappropriate text messages with Ashley. And apparently, Trina found out about it. And seemed at the beginning, all about protecting Ashley, only for that to change later and her basically alienate Ashley.
Do you feel like this is all worth it for all your family business to be put out there? Is it all worth it? And I'm going to actually address that question and say absolutely. And I'm going to tell you why. Because our family is just like everybody else's family. And there might be something that happened within our family that might make somebody say, you know what, that's happening in my family, and we can reach resolve. Mm-hmm. If they can do it, I can do it, we can do it.
And Francine, they're going
to... After watching this clip, I don't even know if I want to watch the premiere episode of The Braxtons, but so many of you have been hitting me up to ask me to watch it, but... Oof. Darlene says, exactly, I agree. And stop addressing it if you're not willing to support your niece. Keep it short with the personal information. I definitely would hush about it. Well, that was what I was talking about in the previous video. So again, I did a separate video this morning talking about this. So go see more of my opinion there. I just wanted to talk about a bunch of different hot topics for this Hot Topics Live. But it's a very sticky situation because they brought the niece onto the show to share this story. And they all benefit monetarily from this being a successful season based off of Ashley's story. So in a way, although she's getting the backlash, she's also benefiting from Ashley sharing this on this show. So, yeah. So we talked about that. Again, be sure to check out that video if you haven't already. Our mods will be posting the links to those videos in the live chat on YouTube. So be sure to check that out. Angel says, don't watch a Kempire. It's not worth it. Well, noted. Noted. Tina, hey, Messina. Messina says, but you didn't reach resolve if she went public about it. They definitely didn't. They definitely didn't reach resolve. All right. I also did a video before, and I'm not going to go deep into any of what I've already covered earlier today. Again, if you want to know more expansive thoughts on some of these stories, be sure to check out that video. But I do want to talk about K. Michelle possibly quitting the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So K. Michelle, there was a rumor that came out that K. Michelle and Drew almost got into a physical altercation. And I was like, oh God, I hope this is not true. Only for K. Michelle to come out and say that it's absolutely not true. But it was a series of tweets that made me go, uh-oh, wait, what was this last tweet? So she first started off the tweet, we'll read from the bottom up. K. Michelle says, stop lying on me. I haven't swung or had any type of physical altercation with anyone in years. I have a whole career and a lot I'm working towards. I'm a grown woman. It's not cute or cool. Leave me alone. In another tweet, she says, to make something up like that and paint me as violent of any sorts is crazy, a complete lie. I don't fight. I'm grown. Leave me alone. Then in another tweet, she says, I'm really minding my business. It's getting weird. But then this last tweet, K. Michelle says, the only show I'm on or in is mine. It's called My Nice Little Country Life, album coming soon. And I said, wait a minute, what does she mean that's the only show that she's on? Did K. Michelle quit Real Housewives of Atlanta? Look, Bravo never confirmed that she was joining, but we did see her with the other women. We saw her with Pinky Cole. We've seen them all together. So, and they're currently filming this season. And I was recently on the Humble Brag podcast, and we talked a little bit about the season, how the season was going with Cynthia Bailey. And she mentioned K. Michelle. So I'm assuming that she quit mid-season. But look, we also had Tamra quit multiple times this season of Real Housewives of Orange County. So maybe, because she is a Pisces woman, can be a little sensitive, maybe she quit this week and she'll be back next week. I mean, I really do look forward to seeing K. Michelle in this new chapter of her life. She's married now. She's working on country music. She's always been good reality television. So I'm really interested to see the dynamics. And honestly, she's probably the only reason why I might be looking forward to this new season. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not looking for, the majority of the cast is coming back next season. Phaedra's coming back. Portia's coming back. She's now a lesbian. We've got Pinky Cole. I'm interested in her story, but at the same time, I'm like, because I don't trust Bravo to handle her story as a big celebration, the highs and lows, and really give us an iconic way of telling that story. But we shall see. All right. Roman says, Kempire, who do you think K. Michelle's bumping heads with most this season? Well, apparently Drew. Drew, apparently the Tauruses, it looks like Drew and Angela Oakley. Which is kind of weird because Tauruses and Pisces usually get along, but we shall see. We shall see. But if she quit, I don't know. K. Michelle might be just sensitive right now, y'all. She might be just sensitive. It's okay. OMG. You know who I want to talk about? I did not plan to talk about them. So that's the update. So I don't know whether or not K. Michelle has quit her job yet. I want to tell you guys because I feel like there must be some sort of full moon or Mercury in retrograde because Amy Robach and TJ Holmes, we spent weeks covering that story. You remember the Good Morning American news broadcaster journalists that were caught out there having an affair and they both were married to other people. And now the other people that they were married to are now dating. I know, a mess, okay? Well, they announced a moment ago before this live that they also are now engaged. First of all, they've been trying to, they have their podcast, they've been trying to do their own daytime talk show, but that never happened. So apparently they are now engaged. So let me just pull up a picture of them because I did not plan to talk about them, but since they got engaged, I just feel like, guys, like how you get him is going to be how you lose him. All right? So according to People magazine, Amy Robach and TJ Holmes are engaged. The former GMA3, What You Need to Know, anchor 52 and journalist 48 announced their engagement on October 14th episode of their Amy and TJ podcast. We are sharing with all of you that we're engaged, and we've been engaged for just about a month now, Robach told listeners. I'm sorry, this is a mess. I just feel like this is not going to end well, just because of how it went down. Because of how it went down, I'm like, I don't see this ending well. Even though they've been going strong, because when did we report this story? Please hold. Holmes added, we wanted to let you all know before anybody else was able to. We've learned that lesson, I guess, in the past about our relationship. Because remember, they were caught out there. The paparazzi had caught photos of them going up to an upstate rendezvous, holding hands in the car, going to their little spots in New York City. And then all kinds of other stories came out about TJ Holmes being inappropriate, allegedly, with other staffers at ABC over the years. A lot of stuff came out. Missy says took Wife Swap to a whole new level. Especially because now their exes and her ex, Amy's ex, Andrew Shue from Melrose Place, he's still very good looking. Well, now he's dating TJ's ex. What is going on right now? I can't. That's icky to me. That's weird. And they have kids. Ew, that's weird. All right, sorry. Holmes then joked about how his fiance had been dangling a ring in everybody's face every chance you could, and nobody said a word. I was in 3 massive football stadiums 3 weekends in a row wearing my engagement ring very proudly, very excitedly, and kept waiting for somebody to point it out or ask me. Okay, this sounds so thirsty. So they had to announce. This is sad. Amy, no one cared. No people. So I've seen them. I've actually seen them in person, literally downtown. I was coming from Pilates. This was several months ago, probably last year. And I guess they must record at the Equinox that I used to go to. And I guess they record in that building. So I've seen them good looking in public, a very good looking couple. Look, I'm willing to give credit when credit is due. But let me tell you something. Homegirl, don't see. This is why no network wanted to give them a daytime talk show. See, networks, you did something right. No one's interested. She's been wearing the massive engagement ring for weeks now, and no one said a word. So they had to announce it on their podcast. Whoa. No one cared. Y'all should have left this part of the story out. Right? They should have left this part of the story out. I'm sorry. This is funny to me. Okay, hold on. I was in 3 massive football stadiums 3 weekends in a row wearing my engagement ring very proudly and very excitedly and kept waiting for somebody to point it out or ask me, hey, what's that? And it never happened. Never happened. And if people saw it, maybe they would just be, no, girl, they didn't care. Because please understand, if we knew you were engaged, people would have said something. No one cared. No one cared. Robach recalled how she went to post a picture on social media amid their secret engagement. Secret engagement. We'll put in quotes. But Holmes stopped her and said, babe, you see what's very prominent in that picture and what's in that photo? So I decided not to post it because I didn't want that to be what the photo was about, she explained. Holmes then chimed in, we were intimately engaged with friends, very close people for the past 3 weekends. All of them are going to think back and go, oh my God, how did we miss it? Even the friends didn't care. Damn. Even their friends did not even notice or pay attention. The couple promised to share some details about how it all went down at a later date. In the meantime, they said that they had just been celebrating with family. No, we don't care. They had to talk about this on their podcast to bring people to listen to that. No one cares about the podcast either. That is sad. You guys thought you were bigger than the situation. That's what it was. You guys thought you were bigger than the situation, and you guys were just some up-and-coming talent over there at GMA 3. Not even 2, GMA 3. They thought with everyone talking about them and their dirty deeds that they were going to get the next situation. No one cared about the engagement. No one cares about how it went down. What I care about is that you are out there in the public with thousands of people and no one cared to tell us that you two were engaged. Girl, how you got them is going to be how you lose them. And I'll be here to report it. I'm not wishing it on you, but here we are. Mimi says, who are we talking about? We're talking about Amy Robach and TJ Holmes. They are now engaged, and apparently she's been wearing the engagement ring for 3 weekends in a row at football stadiums, and no one cared or reported about it. They had to make the announcement themselves on their podcast. They're a good-looking couple. Like I said, I've seen them in person. Good-looking. Okay, we're mixing it up. We're talking hot topics, and we're talking pop culture news, and we're talking Real Housewives at the same time. So earlier today, we reported to you about Ashley responding to Katie Rose, who is an OG of the Real Housewives of Potomac, who basically said that Ashley ate her snatch. Okay, whatever. So whatchamacallit? I can't even think right now. So Ashley responded. We did a separate video, so I'm not going to get into every detail. Again, you can watch that at another time. But Ashley said this on social media. She says, that false story is gross, beyond words. And then she puts the throwing up a face emoji. Then she says, I don't argue with mentally unstable people. And I'm not going to argue with her there. Katie is not well. So y'all need to stop asking whether or not Katie's going to come back to the show. Look at Deborah. Deborah says, I believe Katie. I mean, I kind of believe Katie too, though. I do believe it went down. But, I just need Katie to focus on her sobriety. If anything, bring Katie back. Well, no, I really don't want you to bring Katie back. But Katie's the one who's pushing up on Chris Samuels. That's who was really pushing up on Chris Samuels. Okay, that was who was really trying to make the Chris Samuels situation happen. Chris Samuels is the most eligible bachelor in Potomac right now. Okay, I say all that to say because you saw during our recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac yesterday, now they're saying that Stacey asked Ashley's friend to hook her up with Chris Samuels. Apparently, Cookie, Karen's bestie, is good friends with him too. Apparently, Charisse is good friends with Chris Samuels. Remember when they were photographed out eating together? People thought they were dating. No, he's a man about town, and he's the most eligible bachelor in Potomac. The man's got a coin, okay? And he's good looking. He's dropped some weight. Things are looking up for Chris Samuels. We don't know the timeline of when Stacey wanted to be hooked up with him. Why are we going to be mad? Stacey is a divorced woman, officially. And I will say this. It was our community's Keith who broke the news that he saw the screenshots and confirmed yesterday during our live recap that Stacey, in fact, actually was divorced. Her divorce wasn't in Virginia like Ashley. Her divorce was in D.C. Today, TMZ is now confirming. And if you were here yesterday, make yourself be known. You knew about this confirmation yesterday. Well, we're confirming it today because TMZ got their hands on the divorce docs. So let me tell you this, okay? So according to TMZ, Stacey Rusch's castmates of Real Housewives of Potomac aren't convinced that she actually got divorced from her husband, okay? But TMZ did some digging, and it looks like the divorce is legit. Let me find out TMZ is watching me. They do watch me, though, technically. Yeah, because they've asked me to be on their show a few times. So they're confirming that Stacey, in fact, did get a divorce. They said, here's the deal. Stacey got called out on the recent episode of Real Housewives of Potomac by fellow castmates who claimed that she was fudging divorce docs, but court records appear to confirm Stacey is telling the truth. Come on. Okay. They said she's, according to legal docs obtained by TMZ, Stacey and her ex-husband divorced last year, and it says there was a final decree entered on the docket on December 16th, although it remains under seal. Look, I kind of believed her on this particular thing. I don't know if I believe everything else that Stacey is telling us, but at least she's vindicated even before the reunion. And I think a lot of people, even if they believe Stacey or like Stacey or not, they don't like that it seems like Ashley and Giselle are harping, especially Ashley, are harping on Stacey. Like they're looking for every reason to be mad at Stacey. Okay? First it was the whole TJ of it all, which I understood. Then it was about her, is she getting divorced? Then it was about her breath. Then it was about this, and then it's that. And now it's Chris Samuels. So there's just so many, they've been harping on Stacey. How about we harp on one thing, okay? Well, she's vindicated. Did she send these divorce docs to TMZ? Possible. Good for her. Because now everyone's reporting on it. So apparently they got divorced on December 16th. The docs show that her husband filed for divorce in early December of 2024. So I find that to be interesting, saying that the couple married in Germany in September 2007 had been separated since August of 2023. He said that they apparently hammered out a quick settlement as there was no hope of a possibility of a reconciliation between the parties. And I know you're probably thinking like, well, then what happened? Well, after being together for 16 years, she claims that when it was finalized, they kind of looked at each other and like, this is done? This is over? And remember, they spent the holidays together. We even have the photo. Let me show you the photo. Let me show you the photo. This was Stacey's story. She said they spent the holidays together, and that's when the divorce information came through. So let me show you the little photo of them and their beautiful family together during the holidays. Where'd they go, to the Bahamas or something like that? Beautiful family. She's been vindicated. Okay. So, yeah. So, according to TMZ, Stacey and her ex-husband are now back together. That's her storyline for the season. And she told viewers that she and her ex decided to reconcile during a family Christmas getaway to Mexico with their 9-year-old daughter, Arabella, after she found out on the trip that they were officially divorced. So it seems her timeline jibes with the dates on the legal filings. As for why Stacey's divorce was met with doubt on RHOP, she joined the cast last season, and her storyline was about going through a divorce and moving on with a man she said that she was dating, Thomas Anthony TJ Jones. Stacey and TJ broke up, and during the reunion, he told one of the husbands that Eddie Osefo, that Stacey paid him to be on the show because he needed a storyline. And now her castmates are wondering if the whole divorce and getting back with her ex is just for a storyline too. Okay. No, he's German. For the Fifi's asking, no, he's German. So, look, Stacey has been vindicated. Let me put up this photo because it's my favorite new photo of Stacey. Yeah, she's been vindicated, all right? And look, even if she wasn't vindicated, the way that she's been like, blocking all of the hate from these women, it's impressive. I'm very much impressed with how unbothered Stacey is by all of the attacks that she's getting. Some other people would have faltered, like Kiarna. Some people would have faltered, but she is not faltering. So Stacey officially, TMZ has seen the divorce docs. They did, in fact, get a divorce. She told the truth about something. Okay? Winter says she still rented TJ, Thomas Anthony Jones. Maybe, but even he's not speaking anymore. Do we think that she finally paid him? Or they had some sort of settlement and there's an NDA and he can't speak about it? And maybe he's using his bestie, the actress from Shameless. You think that maybe he's using her to spread the information that allegedly, that she agreed to pay him half of her Bravo check? I don't know if I believe that. I think he wants half of her Bravo check because, those little side gigs. TJ, you should be so happy. This opportunity of just being on the show, I'm sure helped you land more gigs. You don't deserve, first of all, you weren't convincing. Ooh, you weren't convincing at all. And if anything, you hurt her instead of helped her. You could have I could have did a better job of being her boyfriend. We could have had a really good season and then figure out how we're going to end this. So I don't have to do it for another season. But Stacey, you couldn't have used me. I've been out in these streets. People know I'm gay. How you doing? But just in case they didn't. You know what I mean? We could have figured out, things didn't work out, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they're saying it's Shanola Hampton, Lorena. Lorena says, not Shanola. Yeah, they're saying Shanola. She's the lady, they're saying, because remember she was on Watch What Happens Live, and she kind of spilled the tea. Allison says, TJ is not a gent. A man would never publicly insult a woman. Well, if he decided to come on this show, the type of men that decide to come on these reality shows and pretend, already tells you a little bit about their character. Aaliyah says, every time Kempire does that about TJ, I laugh. I had to warm up my voice. You know what? Angel says, not Kempire being a lavender husband like Steve. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I'm saying I would be able to do a better job. You know what I mean? It'd be more convincing. So that's the update in regards to Stacey. So Stacey has been officially vindicated. A round of applause. Urban Spinster, love your name. Urban Spinster says, hey, Portia is gay now. You can be straight for a season. I was bisexual for a summer. I was bisexual for a summer. Mm-hmm. Anyway. All right. Let's talk about Dr. Wendy Osefo. Oh, my gosh. This story is just the beginning that we're getting to. So we did a video reporting to you that Wendy Osefo may have been fired from her teaching job. So some people are confused. So you remember Wendy, part of her storyline, I think it was last season, right? Was it last season? I think so. Where she says she was stepping down from her professor job over there at the Johns Hopkins University. But then there was a report. You probably didn't see this because they didn't talk about it on the show, that I don't think, okay? They didn't talk about the fact that she got another job at Wesleyan in regards to teaching sociology, but she was teaching one course. It was about reality television, okay? Reality television when it comes to colorism and racism and all of that, okay? So when we heard earlier today, we saw the whole statement. Let me show you. There was an email from Alberton Center director Kalila Brown-Dean sent to students in Osefo's class, explained that the associate professor of sociology, Courtney Patterson-Fay, would take over teaching the class for the remainder of the semester. Neither the university nor Brown-Dean responded to requests by the Argus for comment on Osefo's arrest. Students in Osefo's class were surprised at the news of her arrest. I think we all were. And their description of Wendy says she was a fantastic teacher. Well, now TMZ is confirming that she was not fired. However, Dr. Wendy Osefo resigned. So their initial report, they said more bad news for the Real Housewives of Potomac star Dr. Wendy Osefo. She and her husband, Eddie, were booked on fraud charges Friday, and today TMZ has learned that she also lost her job. Wendy has been a distinguished visiting professor of sociology at Wesleyan University, but the school released a statement to TMZ Tuesday, writing simply, Wendy Osefo is no longer an employee of Wesleyan University. In addition to the Wesleyan in Connecticut, Wendy also taught at Johns Hopkins University in Maryland before resigning in 2024. She has degrees from Temple University and Johns Hopkins and a PhD in public affairs and community development from Rutgers. As you know, documents obtained by TMZ reveal that the RHOP star is facing 16 charges, including 7 felonies for allegedly committing fraud in the excess of 300, which we now know is nearly $500,000, and 1 misdemeanor count of making a false statement to an officer. Eddie's facing 18 different charges, okay, very similar to her charges. So TMZ told you last week that the charges stem from an incident last year. The couple claimed that they found their bedroom ransacked after returning from a trip to Jamaica. According to the prosecution's bail recommendation, Wendy and Eddie reportedly told police officers several designer bags and jewelry had been stolen. But get this, Carroll Gardens Sheriff's Department alleged that Wendy was later seen on social media posting wearing a diamond ring she reported stolen. So the TMZ update on whether or not Wendy was fired from Wesleyan University, they said Wesleyan University now tells TMZ that Wendy resigned from her position at the university. Are we surprised? I mean, look, resigned, fired. I think resigning could be from the pressure where the university will say to you, this is not a good look for you. We will say that you resigned, but we can't have you going forward be a professor here. Especially when you're a visiting professor, you're not necessarily a full-time professor at the university, and this is not a good look for them. So I wouldn't be shocked that they are allowing her to say that she resigned. D says pushed out equals resigned. Or, again, maybe she did resign because, like, okay, I can't face my students. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. D says that Wendy needs the money. Without a doubt. That's why, for those that are speculating whether or not Wendy will return to Real Housewives of Potomac, I was like, I believe she has to. I don't think the weed business is doing as great as they claim that it's doing. I think their Bravo check is her biggest check. I think this whole situation is going to secure her another season, if not 2 more seasons. You also may recall that Bravo was supposed to tonight premiere Wife Swap, but now they've pushed it back to next week. Word on the street is that Wendy was supposed to be the first episode, and they're scrapping her episode completely. Aaliyah says, I hope Happy Eddie is really doing well. I mean, to me, based off of how they're trying to act like Happy Eddie's doing so well this season, says to me it wasn't doing well. Because remember, this all happened, them doing all of this happened just last year. Allison says that Wendy jumped before she was pushed, I presume. I mean, either way, this is not a good look. This is not a good look. So that's the update in regards to what's happening with Wendy Osefo. They have released a statement when all of this went down. They have been released from jail, and now they say that they're looking forward to their day in court. I'm wondering how this would be handled. I know there are a lot of people wondering whose cockamamie idea this could be. I said this yesterday, and I'll say this again. It doesn't matter whose idea this was. They're two grown adults. If it was Eddie's idea, Wendy's a grown adult to say, Eddie, that's a stupid idea and we should not do this. If it was Wendy's idea, he's an attorney. He, of all people, should be like, this is a stupid idea. We should not do this. But there were a lot allegedly stupid moves, including sending emails to each other, like the tracking of it all about this cockamamie scheme. But here we are. But okay. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. We're talking a bunch of different hot topics that range from Real Housewives and reality television and hot topics. So let's get into some more hot topics, okay? Who do I want to talk about next? Nicki Minaj. Y'all, Nicki Minaj is claiming, that someone has been using her Amex. Okay, yeah, she took to social media to claim that someone's been using her Amex. I need Nicki to get off of social media. Nicki, please get off of social media. But anyway, Murky's in retrograde. So Nicki says on her Instagram, she says a couple of them have been doing it for years. Filed the first report a couple of weeks ago. They're all going to jail. So that was one of the posts. Wait, is this the first post? Oh no, she says this was the first post. Sorry. She says 3 different people in a span of 2 months charging my Amex without permission. Some couldn't even explain how they had the brand new card number. Then she says a couple of them have been doing it for years. Filed the first report a couple of weeks ago. They're all going to jail. Why is that an Instagram post though? Why are we even aware? Some are alluding back to what Cardi B said during their back and forth on social media, that she's basically losing it on social media and he's out there spending her money. I will say this. As soon as I heard this story, I said, wait, is Kenny the one spending the money? Is he? I don't know. But apparently she said that they've been doing this for years. 3 different people. Are they in any way connected to your husband? Just asking. I think it's a legitimate question. Who are these 3 people that you're alluding to? And I'm wondering if she's saying this on social media so that they're aware that she knows. But that's got to be crazy. Like people are using your Amex and you don't know. But how could they use your Amex without your knowledge? Exactly. Dee's watching on Twitch and she says, we are not the police. Like, why do we know? K-Baby said it's her husband and his crew. That was my first thought. I'm not going to lie to you. That was my first thought. I was like, Aaliyah says she's going to blame Jay-Z somehow. Well, she's going to say, Jay-Z, come help me pay these bills. You owe me money. Fifi, come on. Fifi said maybe it's Wendy Williams' son. Get out of here. You know, Lay Music says it could be Ken, Kenny, and Kenneth. 3 different people. And she says that they've been doing it for years. Again, I don't understand why Nicki Minaj decided to come to social media and share this with us. Because there are tons of things that happen in my life that I don't share on social media. Personal things. Like this is a personal financial thing. So you're claiming that someone has been stealing money from you. A whole lot of money. On your Amex. And you just found out about it. I mean, I'm sorry to hear about it, but why are you going on social media? Are you going on social media because you want those people to know that you're now aware? And because now she's threatening, you're going to jail. She says, and they're all going to jail. So I just wonder who these people are and if they're connected to her man in any way. Dion says, Kempire, say it again. Whose idea is that cockamamie story? But that's not the only thing that we have to mention when it comes to Nicki Minaj being in the headlines this week. So according to Us Weekly, Nicki Minaj's $20 million LA home is at risk of being seized over massive debt owed. This is their exclusive. They said Nicki Minaj's Los Angeles mansion is at risk of being sold off due to a massive unpaid debt that she and her husband, Kenneth Petty, have refused to pay. Us Weekly can exclusively report. On October 6th, Thomas Wiedenmuller, who was awarded $503,000 from Minaj, 42, and Petty, 47, in a lawsuit over alleged assault by Petty in 2019. This man is just the downfall of her. So asked the court to order the rapper's home to be sold to help him collect on the money owed. Wiedenmuller, who was a security guard at one of Minaj's shows in Germany, said that Minaj owns an 11-bedroom, 16-bathroom, 11,800 square foot home in Hidden Hills, California. The entertainer purchased the home for $19.5 million in December of 2022, according to property records. So how is that the equivalent? In his motion, Wiedenmuller explained that he believes that the home is worth enough to pay off the mortgage, liens, and his debt. He pointed out that Minaj has $13,258,000 mortgage lien on the home. Whiskey, you? She has a $13 million mortgage lien on the home? Damn. And a $722,151 homestead exemption, together just under $14 million. Okay. Wiedenmuller told the court the property's current fair market value is appraised at $20 million, yielding approximately $6 million in equity beyond the lien and exemption. Damn, he really did his homework. The amount is more than sufficient to satisfy the judgment, plus accrue interest and enforcement costs. He says that the law does not require him to exhaust other collection efforts before asking for a debtor's home to be sold off. Here, there's no doubt that the sale of the dwelling would satisfy the entire judgment, with millions to spare, he said. His attorney noted, although it's regrettable that the extraordinary measure of forcing the sale of Minaj's dwelling is required, that result is entirely the product of her intransigence in not making the payment. Nicki, pay off this judgment. It's not worth your home being put up. Minaj is a global music superstar, estimated to have a net worth of anywhere between $150 and $190 million, and is reportedly the highest paid female rapper in the world. There is little doubt that she is highly capable of paying the judgment in full, and yet she has refused to do so despite multiple written requests for payment and levies served upon several of her other suspected creditors. Wiedenmuller said that he should not have to wait any longer to receive his money, especially because this is all involving her husband. In his lawsuit, Wiedenmuller claimed that there was drama while working at Minaj's show on March 22nd of 2019. He said a fan broke the security barrier and was able to get on stage next to Minaj. The rapper allegedly became upset with the security team working the event. Wiedenmuller claimed that Minaj was yelling at a female security guard when he tried to defuse the conversation. He alleged that Minaj was upset by his attempt and told Petty about the encounter. He claimed that he was instructed to go to Minaj's dressing room. Once he entered, Wiedenmuller claimed that Minaj was there with Petty and two security guards. He claimed that Minaj started yelling at him, which led to Petty, without warning, striking Wiedenmuller in the face. Wiedenmuller said that he was stunned and disoriented. He said he said that he rushed to the hospital where doctors determined he had serious injuries and needed security to fix his jaw. Minaj and Petty failed to respond to the lawsuit, which led the court entering a default judgment against the duo in March of 2024. So it's been over a year since the default judgment. Nicki, just pay this man so you don't have to be in fear of your home being put up. This is just look, I hate to blame, because I was just talking about how these are grown adults when I was talking about Eddie and Wendy. These are two grown adults, but Nicki, if you don't have a partner that's going to bring balance and keep you out the headlines and keep you out of trouble, I can't be surprised when you look at his rap sheet, Kenneth's rap sheet. Even the Nicki fans, the Barbs, do not like Kenny for Nicki. But at the end of the day, she chose him. So what does that say about her? Exactly. D says struggle love. May that never find me. I do not want nobody's struggle love. Exactly. D says girl pay him and get off of social media. I'm just seeing all of D's posts. Let me see. Hold on. Tish is watching on YouTube. Thank you for being a member, Tish. Tish says, damn it, Nicki, I hate this for you. You can't bring street activities to your workplace. Exactly. Unfortunately, a lot of them do, though. I mean, the same can be said for Cardi B as well. Lonnie says that, and she's worried about Cardi. Girl, you got other fish to fry. Especially because we know you got the $500-something thousand. Girl, you've got a multi-million-dollar home. Pay this off. You just had a huge sold-out tour. But okay. Oh, Aaliyah says, let me go kiss my man. It couldn't be me, because it couldn't be me. Aaliyah, report back when you go kiss your man so that we know that you actually did it. OMG. So that's the update when it comes to Nicki Minaj and what's going on with her. Lord have mercy. All this struggle love that we've been talking about. We were talking about TJ Holmes and Amy Robach getting engaged and no one cared. Wendy and Eddie Osefo getting arrested at the same time for insurance fraud. Nicki Minaj's home, $20 million home, could be up for sale because she refused to pay a default judgment of $500,000. Lord have mercy. Stacey's back with her ex, and we can confirm that Stacey did, in fact, get a divorce. Okay, I mean, that's probably the only good news. All right. I'm going to drop the call-in link for those that want to call in and share their thoughts on any of these hot topics that we've covered. If you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like the video. I'm going to drop it for our members first on the community tab. This is a special live that we're doing. We haven't done a Hot Topics live in a hot second. I mean, it's probably been like a couple weeks. You know, I just got back from holiday, even though I was working on that holiday. So if you remember the channel, I've dropped the call link for you guys on the community tab or post tab as they're calling it. And for those who are part of the replay crew, or if you watch any of my videos, if you see an option to hype up the video, please do so. There's all kinds of new things happening here on these YouTube streets. So be sure to hype up the video if you haven't already. Okay. Tina says, not couple goals, not in the least bit. Fad says, are we in a retrograde? That's what it feels like. Shia says, I found the suspect. He's standing right there. Let me put the picture up so she's not talking about me. Shia says, I found the suspect. He's standing right there. I mean, yeah. Luxury soft girl says she's too busy being a pick-me and paying for her husband and his friends' lifestyle. It could never be me. I want better for all of these people, but you can't want better for others than they want for themselves. You can't. I've learned that a long time ago. You just could just wish them well. Just wish them well. You can't tell me that this man has brought anything into her life that has been uplifting. Part of what we're reporting on is because he decided to be physical with someone. And no matter if she went to him and said, oh, he did this, this is where he's like, you know what? He should be bringing balance to her life, not more drama, even when she's going off. Ms. Parker says that Nicki's proud of that man, shaking my head. Tish says, and she should have left him where she left Safari. Hey, Kalam. Kalam says, hey, Maj, Chat, and Camp replay crew tonight, I guess. It's okay. It's all right. All right, live chat. We're almost at 350 likes. I will drop the call link for you guys once we get to 350 likes. Let me see. Did we get any of our members backstage? All right, we got Angel backstage. If you're a member of the channel, we did drop the call link on the community tab. I'm going to drop the call link for the general audience because I just want to get some quick calls, and then I'm going to go because there's a new episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City tonight. But if you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on any of these hot topics. We talked about a lot. Maybe while I'm watching Salt Lake City, I will do the timestamps so that you guys can go to the stories that you want to. You're welcome. All right. Let me bring up Angel next. And before I bring Angel up, just a reminder, the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, or our sponsors. Okay? Angel, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kim, sorry, I had to step out of the sauna. I am at the gym.
I was about to say, where the hell were you?
Talk about, I'm doing Pilates. I just stepped out. So I was like, let me go call in because it's a mess today. Nicki needs to let go of that trauma bond she has with Kenneth because he is her downfall. And that is why she is losing it. And we're blaming Mercury in retrograde, but it's not Mercury's fault. It's Kenneth's. And then I know we didn't talk about it in Hot Topics today, but what do you think about Todd's lawsuit? Have you seen it against Bravo?
Oh, Todd's lawsuit against Bravo?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, we did cover when he threatened that he was going to file this lawsuit. I haven't seen the lawsuit myself. So Todd from Real Housewives.
I read it. It's like 20-something pages. It is juicy. So read it. I'll send it to you if you don't have it.
Please send it to me, Angel. Please send it to me.
Okay.
Because
I'm going to get back to my workout.
Have a good workout. She's doing Pilates. Bye. And we encourage our community to do Pilates. You know I love a Pilates. I haven't had Pilates in 2 weeks. I went back to Pilates today. Yay. Look, yay. All right. So, yes. I will dig into the Todd lawsuit because, yes, he talked about what he was suing for, but it'll be interesting to see what he includes in this lawsuit. Bravo's got a lot of lawsuits going on right now. Jessica's Kenneth in retrograde. Leah says maybe Kenneth is Mercury. Keela says Kempire T-Mobile is offering satellite phones. I'm gonna have to get one so I can call in. Not satellite phones. All right, Amy's backstage. We're gonna bring Amy up next. Amy, what did you want to share?
Hey, I missed everything. I just want to know did they fire Wendy or did she resign? Sorry.
Well, no. I'll tell you. They're claiming now, the update is that TMZ is saying that the university is saying that she resigned. Do you believe that?
Okay. That makes me even more sadder because now it's starting to come true that she may have did do the fraud. Don't get mad at me, y'all. I'm still in the 1% that still believe she didn't do it.
I mean, I don't know.
So
I can't say that she did it. She didn't do it.
That's not a good sign. Being fired or resign is saying that you need to step away for something.
Well, I mean, she's going to have to fight these charges, and it might take some time to fight them.
Yeah, but you can keep your job unless you just don't want to talk about it at work. But okay, sorry guys.
No,
looks like she's headed the wrong way. It's wrong road at this point.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
You too. Thanks, Amy. Miss Cree, we're talking about Todd Napola from Real Housewives of Miami. Alexia's now ex-husband. He's suing Bravo. Bravo has a few lawsuits. Whatever happened to Britt Eadie's lawsuit?
Lies. The law.
I saw she was on the internet in the jacuzzi with her husband and addressing some of the ladies from Real Housewives of Atlanta. What happened to your lawsuit, girl? What's going on with that? Did you ever even file it? I just remember there was the threat of a lawsuit, but okay. All right, Cookie, we're going to bring you up next. Cookie, what did you want to share?
First, I'm so happy I've caught 2 lives in a row. I've been at work working hard, and I have not been able. I have to be a part of the replay crew. But lately, I've just been really trying to dig deeper into the whole Wendy of it all. And oh my God, it is not looking good for sister. It is not looking good for sister. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just hate that like it came down to that. I was happy Karen was back home, and I was hoping that there would be some type of like something where she could acknowledge her wrongs and kind of just move forward. But it's just like one thing after another with Potomac.
Yeah.
It's becoming worse than Atlanta. At least Atlanta, I don't know if anybody with any felonies on Atlanta, you know, maybe it's,
I have to think. No, I don't think so, right?
That's pretty good for Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's pretty good.
Well, no, I mean, technically, Apollo.
Oh, yeah, the felons, the king of felons.
And technically, Peter. Look, Peter's in jail.
Oh, yeah, the men, but the men are, you know, but the women, you know, they are always getting, like, the most shade for being, like, the worst and, like, I guess, like, trashy. But honestly, it's always these, like, white-collar crimes.
No.
It's always those. But that's it.
Damn. All right. Thanks, Cookie. Wow. We have Tina backstage. Tina, what did you want to share? Tina, we can't hear you. Uh-oh. Miss Tina, we can't hear you. Your mic's unmuted, but we can't hear you. I'm not seeing anything happening. Miss Tina? Miss Tina, we can't hear you. Maybe drop her out and call back in, Miss Tina? Okay, she's going to drop out and call back in. For those that are just joining us, we've covered a bunch of different hot topics. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. They will start to show up in your Explore page. We are also celebrating 300? Really? 552,000 new subscribers. Yeah, one of these stories was hitting a lot of. So, shout out if you're new here. Let us know if you're part of the replay crew and you're new here. Let us know and let us know how long you've been part of the channel. Let's see, Miss Tina, are you there?
Yeah, you hear me now?
Now I can.
Oh, how are you, Kempire?
Oh, well, how are you?
I have a long time no hear from. I just wanted to call in and say, didn't Eddie and his wife know some boosters in D.C.?
Miss Tina.
I just think it's sad. I feel sorry for the children, and I just hope they make it out of this quagmire. The thing with the Braxton family, I hadn't watched that show in years because after the Ayanla intervention, I just said, I can't watch this anymore. And I just think it's sad that they're trying to exploit this. I don't want to call it a sexual assault, but the thing that happened to their niece and not confront it and take care of it. Because, if they don't, it's just going to continue. And that's sad. As far as K. Michelle Masara, they better leave her alone, because if they thought Nene's mouth was bad, oh, Lord Jesus.
Do you think that she really quit and she's not
No,
coming back?
I don't think she quit. I don't think she's a quitter, but she's not going to take their crap either. So they better buckle up. And tomorrow I will be 69, Kempire.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
You don't look 69.
Child, I told you I'm an esthetician. That's why I gave you that little gift bag. So
take care of your skin.
I got to get me some butter cloths, though.
You should. Check my TikTok shop. For those that don't know, I am an icon ambassador for Butter Skincare. But you have to go to my TikTok shop in order to get the products. I am working on a discount code, which reminds me, now that I'm back, I'm back in the office. I can email them so we can get a discount code for our YouTube and our other platforms community. But if you want those discounts, I don't know if it's still on sale, but check now because there was a big sale going on for those silky soft towels.
Okay, I don't have TikTok, so I'll wait until you get over to you. Like I said, I'm 69, baby.
No.
And are you going on tour next year? I'm just asking. I couldn't make Atlanta.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm glad you had a breather, and you'll be in business a long time with this craziness.
I know. Unfortunately, everyone in the chat is saying happy birthday, by the way.
I'll tell them thank you. It's Libra season. Woohoo!
For now.
Bye,
Kempire. Scorpio season's coming. Thanks, Tina. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. We're going to get to some more callers, guys. Again, keep liking the video. We're over at 400 likes, so thank you so much for that. We also had a super chat. Thank you so much, Miss Cree, for the super chat. Miss Cree says, I hate that Kenya lost her job over that buzzard Brit. Not buzzard Brit. That rolls off the tongue, too. I mean, some might say Kenya did it to herself, but you're right. It's like, for all of that to happen, and now both of you are out of jobs. All of that to happen, but here we are. What can you do? All right, we got Candace backstage. Candace, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm well. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm in the middle of eating dinner.
Wait. What are you eating? What are you eating?
So so it's Trader Joe's. So it's not like this is some gourmet meal, but it's just bulgogi, and their veggie fried rice is really good.
Oh, I've heard that before. But I hate to go to Trader Joe's.
It's really good. Really good. Yeah, it's crowded. It's very crowded in there. But
Okay, so I was being messy. I'm going to be fully transparent. And I looked up Wendy's court case in Maryland case search and found her address. So I'm just going to say Wendy and Eddie are less than smart. They have a picture of the alleged toilet and the window where the robber, and I'm putting this in air quotes, came in. I'm believing is that room.
Yes,
Based
the
on
bathroom.
what the cop said, there's a window right over top of the toilet.
Yes.
The toilet, if that is the same toilet they have now, is very tiny. And the window is very tiny. There's no way somebody could have come in, an adult could have come in that window without some kind of damage being done to the window and the toilet. Again, the toilet is small. And you know, when they put these pictures on Redfin and Zillow and all that stuff, they photograph it so that the room looks bigger than what it actually is.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, the cops knew from jump that they were not telling the truth.
Well, someone told me
there's-
that that's a former police officer that a lot of times when they investigate these things, they kind of know from the jump, and they just do their job. They're not going to let you know that they suspect anything.
Right. But they didn't put any kind of thought into it at all to be like, if you have access to Maryland Case Search, it is there. It is public record, public knowledge. So I'm just going to put that there.
I mean, there's so many details that came out. They're like, this was less than smart because, again, when they investigated, the police said there was no debris in the bathroom. Literally, when they went out onto the roof and they came in, they tracked in debris. So they said there was no activity on the ADT system, no activity on the Ring camera. This neighborhood, not saying that's impossible, but she said it in an interview with Gabbing with Gibb, that this neighborhood hasn't, since it was created 20 years ago, has never had any burglaries. It's pretty damning. Pretty damning.
Yeah. I mean, my son is like 125 pounds. He could get through the window. I ain't getting through that window. A grown man is not getting through that window. It's small. It's small. But that was it. I'm going to go back to being messy and look up some more stuff for Wendy. So
look, send me the link. Send me the link.
I will.
Thanks, Candace.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, it's not looking good. What do we think is going to happen? I saw Coco called in, but Coco dropped out. Coco, call back in. I ought to pick your brain. I wonder the likelihood of, well, not Coco, Kiki, sorry. It's Coco. Coco, I'm going to give you a second so you can get situated. But I just wonder the likelihood of them taking a plea deal. Let's bring up our resident attorney, Coco Esquire. Coco, did you hear what Candace just said?
Can you hear me, Kempire?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. I'm having a technical difficulty today with StreamYard. I mean, I'm actually surprised they hadn't already taken a plea deal.
Oh.
Because a lot of times, and I can't really hear the feedback from you, but a lot of times when you're involved in these types of white-collar investigations, you know that you're under investigation. It's done very, it's actually, quite frankly, a lot of times not fair because your attorneys may hear from the government that they have this information and they try to work it out long before they even proceed to present evidence to the grand jury. At least that's been my experience. So, I mean, Miss Esquire when we last spoke, brought up some good points. It doesn't mean that they're guilty. And I just want to point out that you can actually do something wrong and be adjudicated not guilty. And that's the great thing about our criminal justice system.
Wow. All right. I know you can't hear me, but thank you.
Hold on, Kemp. I can't hear you. So I'm going to have to try to call back in or something because StreamYard's tripping. I'll call back in.
All right. Thanks, Coco. We love when our I don't know, that's been happening a lot lately with when you guys call in through StreamYard. Some people can hear me, some people can't. I mean, the audience and I can hear us. Paula, I was trying to let her talk. So Kempire, let her talk. I'm trying, but she can't hear me. And I would love to ask follow-up questions. I think that they will take a plea deal, especially because the evidence against them is so damning. But we have to wait and see. And this is really just the beginning. So I don't know. Right now, for those that missed it, we were just updating you that Wendy allegedly, according to the university, she resigned from her position. She was not fired. Phyllis says, I need something for my bags under my eyes. What do you recommend, Kempire? Bags? Check out my TikTok shop. There's something from, oh my gosh, Peter Thomas Roth that I have in my TikTok shop for your under your eyes. Check that out because I feel like that was good because you have to keep it on for a couple of hours though. Just saying. And sleep. Look, sleep and hydration helps too. I think that's like a major thing for a lot of people. But if you're just talking about like puffiness and stuff like that, yeah. Okay, let's try Coco again. Let me see. Coco, are you there? Coco?
Yes, this is better. I don't know what was going on.
It's okay. So
Okay.
you're surprised that they haven't taken a plea deal already?
Yeah, but because a lot of times when there's this type of protracted investigation, which is what I'm assuming happened, that I'd be surprised if they weren't aware that they were under investigation. And it is the government usually tries to settle these types of cases through a plea deal because it's much more advantageous for them to dispose of cases that way as opposed to putting everybody through a trial.
Yeah.
So I'd be surprised if they weren't aware they were under investigation, which is, I kind of heard y'all talking about whether or not she resigned preemptively because she knew this was coming down. Perhaps. I'd be surprised if she just learned about this on last week.
Well,
That's
technically she resigned literally after all this played out.
Oh, okay. I thought she'd already left her job as a professor.
She left her job at Johns Hopkins, but she was being a visiting professor at Wesleyan University for this particular course that she was seeing. I remember they announced it, but I guess people weren't paying attention. And it didn't play out on the show, so a lot of people didn't know. But I remember them mentioning the fact that she was doing this. I didn't know it was ongoing still. I didn't know how long it was going to be. But apparently she was still teaching this particular course. So the students said that they were shocked when this news came out. So they were recently notified that she would no longer be the professor.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize that, but I mean, this fraud stuff just it impacts you in so many different ways. So, I mean, your very credibility to get up in there and profess is severely hampered. How you gonna profess and you profess on these papers and are accused of not being honest? So it definitely would impact the university's credibility to have a professor with those types of charges.
What the other aspect of this, because everyone says that Wendy always acts like she's holier than thou. Her credibility amongst this group is going to be on shaky ground going forward.
Yeah, as it should be. I mean, not for nothing, Giselle may not have the best fashions, but she hasn't been accused of this type of lie, and they all lie.
They all
lie. You have pointed out, they all be lying.
They all lie.
This is just...
But they haven't been charged with anything.
Another level. They haven't been charged. They haven't been indicted. They haven't lied in order to further a bigger lie, which is, that has gotten them criminally wrapped up, so to speak.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to continue to follow this. Go ahead.
I wanted to shout you out on another point, which was just to thank you for highlighting the Trina Braxton of it all, because so many people deal with having to come forward with these accusations and just not being acknowledged for truthfulness. In this October, which is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, Empire, you are out here doing the Lord's work. I just want to acknowledge that. Just your coverage of the Diddy trial, you bringing light to issues that so many women impact, just shows a level of courage and, just humanity that is refreshing. So I just appreciate you even showing how crazy she sounds and not supporting her niece.
The more I listen to it, the more mad I get.
I can imagine. I'm like shocked. But you know what? This is a common thing where people report to their mothers, their family, that this has happened, and people ignore it.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they don't know what to do or how to handle it, but it is so harmful to our community. And child, you out here breaking generational curses, Kempire, because
I don't know. I'm not going to take that on, but look, I'm just speaking about what I think we need to speak about, and I see it happen so often, especially in the Black community, where families really put these things under the rug. You know, keep things in the house. No, we can't keep things in the house because you guys aren't doing anything about it when we keep it in the house.
Correct.
If you kept it in the house and you did something about it, that'd be one thing, but you're not doing anything. And for the last 16 years, Trina did nothing. And now she's defending the dead man.
Just you saying that is so impactful for so many people, because maybe now a mother may have the courage to do the right thing. So just shout out to you.
I appreciate that, Coco. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling in and sharing your legalese. We appreciate that too.
Of course. Y'all have a good one.
You too. Bye. Look, guys, I am not trying to be anybody. I have a platform. I have my thoughts and my opinions when it comes to these things. I can't imagine it. And I know we've talked about this. Some of you have shared your own personal stories of abuse and being an experience in that, and people shutting you up and making excuses for perpetrators and predators that are currently living in the home and around children. And this is an opportunity. I get maybe in Trina's mind, she's sort of like, I can't possibly admit to this because then I'm going to look wrong. You look wrong now, Trina. You look wrong now. But okay, sorry, y'all. Let me say thank you. We had a couple of more super chats. Thank you so much, Cree, for the another super chat. Cree says, I'm confused. So did they get the money from the insurance company, or are they being charged for insurance fraud? They ended up getting the money because remember, someone called yesterday saying that they have to release these funds within a certain period of time. So it looks like they ended up getting the money, but don't quote me on this. But it looks like they ended up getting the money. So they're probably going to have to pay that money back, maybe with all kinds of penalties and whatnot. So now, part of what in the investigation was saying was that they already were in incredible debt, and this may have been the motivation behind them doing this. So they were already in incredible debt at this particular time. My thing is, though, if you were in incredible debt, were you just greedy because you were in incredible debt, you did this insurance fraud allegedly, you still had the same items. So if you were in incredible debt, why didn't you sell those items or like sell them on the black? I'm not encouraging this. I'm just saying, if you're in incredible debt and you're trying to get out of incredible debt, sell all these items so they're not in your home. 15 items were still in the home when they came and searched the home that they claimed that they lost in this burglary. I don't know. It sounds like greed. But yeah, so we had an insurance adjuster call in yesterday, weigh in, and says that there are certain guidelines and timeframes that they have to get these things in, the insurance company, and people are paid out quite early in order to meet these deadlines. So yeah, I'm assuming that they ended up getting the money, but wouldn't that be damned that you getting charged and you didn't even get the money? Just saying. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitter. I see you, Drew Sidora News. Hey, Drew Sidora News. You know anything about the K Michelle and Drew Sidora fight? K Michelle says that it's not true. Just saying. Amy, thank you so much for the super chat. Amy says, is there a way that there can still be a misunderstanding? Amy, really? Look, I get it, Amy. I'm waiting to hear from Wendy and Eddie in regards to this. I definitely think that they will speak, but obviously they can't. They're in the middle of a legal situation. But I'm looking forward to hearing what they have to say in regards to this. Is this a big misunderstanding? I'm open to that, it being a big misunderstanding. But the evidence against them is pretty damning. And I will say, when the burglary happened, but the internet will always do that. They will throw something like, oh, are you sure this is not for insurance fraud? And we didn't even know all the details. Now that we know all the details, I think we're all like, this is an insurance fraud. But we'll have to wait and see. Queen Day says, I think they got $20,000 or so for the traveler's insurance. Also, $400K is not that much. I'm sure their home is worth much more. This was dumb. It gives a plan set up while doing Happy Eddie. Yeah, it's like based on everything, it sounds like it's like $500,000. And apparently, it looks like based on what we found out that the police department and the insurance companies, they're actively working together when investigating these things. So they're all communicating with each other. And I'm sure the insurance companies, the 3 different insurance companies where they make claims, are all working together as well. Erica says they're probably a part of a scammer ring. If this turns out to be a bigger situation, please don't say that. Because then everybody's going down. But I can't imagine anyone else being involved. This sounds like 2 people that were desperate and did not really think this through. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it to try and keep up with the Joneses. It's not. All right. I want to say thank you to our King's Guards. Be sure to thank them for holding us down in the live chat. Matter of fact, who wants to be a King's Guard? Because we can't just have our poor Foxy out here holding us down. There's only Foxy in the chat. Shout out to Foxy. Everyone's sending love to Foxy. We need to get a couple more King's Guards that want to be. You don't necessarily have to be here every live. I understand everyone has lives and other jobs, okay? But let us know. But you have to be someone that's been here a long time. I have to be very familiar with who you are. Okay, just saying. You don't have to be a member, but I have to be familiar with you that have been a part of the fam, okay? So let us know. Replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts on any of the hot topics that we've discussed this evening. Thank you again to our King's Guards, our channel members. Become a member today at TheKempire.com/join. And also thank you to our subscribers. We appreciate our subscribers. So if you're a new subscriber, be sure to let us know as well. We have hit over 552,000 subscribers. So thank you. And shout out to everyone that sent in super chats. Even T-Talk with a Girl just sent us in a super chat. Thank you so much, T-Talk with your girl. She says, hey, Kemp, wait, hold on. I just hope they don't find anything else on them. Usually when we get these situations, this is usually the top. There might be more. But if they decide to take a plea deal, the plea deal might be after the police say, well, guess what? We have this and this and this. But this is already a lot. Just saying. All right. Unique, what do you mean you've been wanted? To be a mod? Let us know if that's what you meant. Pretty Witty says, wait, same name on YouTube. What did you say, Pretty Witty? Hold on. I missed what you said. Chef Lori says, Nightbot was there. Yes. Hold on. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat before we go. Oh, Pretty Witty says, I'll mod for you. Well, what's your YouTube name? Okay, Unique says, wait, a member going strong. 36 months. Hold on. Let me get on YouTube, though. That's the only way I can do it is on YouTube. Please hold. Where are you? We'll make you one of our mods. Hold on, because you have been here a long time. You're one of our standard mods, okay? So shout out to you. Welcome to the mod crew, to our King's Guards. We appreciate you being here as well. Where's Auntie Eva? Hold on. Thank you so much. Is Auntie Eva in the chat? Where's Auntie Eva? Because that's the only way I can make her a mod. I can't just do it off her name. Hold on. Let me find Auntie Eva. Auntie Eva's been a member a long time, too. Where's Auntie Eva? Oh, I found you, Auntie Eva. Just saw you, Auntie Eva. There we go. I mean, some of you have been really around for like 4 years, and I appreciate it, all right? Unique says, I'm loyal, Kemp. And you know, as a Taurus, I appreciate loyalty. So shout out to our mods. We're going to have like a little mod meeting at some particular point, just to kind of make sure everyone's on the same page on what we're doing here. You know, it takes a lot for us to block or mute anyone here in the channel. So keep that in mind as well, okay? Unless someone really starts going off the handle, okay? All right. Q Potato says, I'm a mod on TikTok. Yes, you are. And you're watching on Twitch. We appreciate you. Oh, awesome. Unique says, thanks, Ken. This made my week. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. So thank you. All right. And shout out to Mama Ellie. You know, every once in a while, people need breaks. So Mama Ellie's taking a little bit of a break. Shout out to Foxy for holding us down, though, during this time. She's here all the time, and she's in a whole other time zone. Okay? All right. I appreciate you all being here. Again, if you are interested in being a mod, continue to let me know. It's always good to have multiple mods, especially people that I'm familiar with. I'm not going to make you a mod if you haven't been here a long time. Just saying. All right. All right. Thank you all for being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. I will see you guys tomorrow for our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap, right? At some particular point. I don't know. I have so many errands this week, y'all. You know, you come back from vacation and it's like, I got to get this done, that done, all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned. Stay tuned, all right? If you haven't liked the video already, we're almost at 500 likes. Be sure to like the video. I will see you all in the next one. Thank you. Shout out to our new mods. Welcome our new mods in the chat. And of course, shout out to the replay crew. Be sure to let us know your thoughts on all of these different hot topics. I will try and work on doing the timestamps for later. Okay? All right. Thank you guys. Everyone have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.
Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. For more information on the podcast, head on over to KempireRadio.com.